I'm got a long way to go before I anywhere near Tesla, I think. Um, but yeah, it was a great conversation. We touched on a number of subjects, um, and yeah, so uh, we're at a very interesting juncture in the world from a technology standpoint. If you say there's so many things happening. If you were to plot the various types of technology on a chart, um, the modern era, and I'd say even just like really the last 20 years, certainly the last 100 years from the dawn of human civilization, the growth of technology just looks like a wall. It's a technology is improving at sort of a hyper exponential rate, and we obviously want to make sure that the technology is something that benefits humanity and to the greatest extent possible. And we're going to go in depth into artificial intelligence, which is potentially the biggest civilizational threat. I say potentially, so I'm trying not to be sort of a whatever scaremonger or something. Um, but when you're talking about having something that is an intelligence far in excess of the smartest human on Earth, you have to say at that point who's in charge. Is it the computers or the humans? Um, and there's some interesting ratios that I think are quite profound. Like one of them being the ratio of digital to biological compute. So if you take also all the human brains and then all the computer, you know, circuits, and you say what's that ratio? The ratio of digital to biological compute is increasing dramatically every year because the population of Earth is fairly static, but the output of silicon is dramatically increased. So basically at a certain point, with the percentage of compute that will be biological is very small. And anyway, some of these technologies, like, and I'm a technologist, and I bear some responsibility for the creation of artificial intelligence, at least a little bit. And I think we just want to make sure that we're guiding things to a technological, you know, a positive future, and reduce the probability of a negative one.
Well, I call it the blessing and the curse. 3,500 years ago, when Moses steered the people, the children of Israel, to the promised land, and he was standing outside and he said, "You're going into the promised land, and you're going to find a choice between two things, a blessing and a curse." And he said, "You better choose the blessing," which was the blessing of life, and not the curse of death. And I think in many ways we stand today at a juncture for all humanity where we have to choose between a blessing and a curse. The blessings of AI are amazing, and we see them already in Israel. We see them around the world. You can see the addition of decades of life to the human lifespan. Precision medicine dedicated to every person's genetic composition. Robots, I know you know nothing about this. Robots who care for the elderly. I think you're making some of them here. You could have precision agriculture and autonomous factories that create abundance beyond our imagination. What you call the end of scarcity, which is a departure in human history. You can have all these blessings. You can have the end of traffic jams, with subground, above ground, and in the air, AI-driven vehicles, all these things that are real promise. But at the same time, you've got the curse. And the curse could be manifold. It could be the disruption of democracy, the interference, the manipulation of minds, crime syndicates, AI-driven wars that go uncontrollable, and what you said just now, which is the stuff of science fiction. I mean, we used to read these things. We used to read Isaac Asimov, that machines will control humans as opposed to the other way around. And I'll tell you the worst thing about it is what you said earlier, which is that the pace of change is increasing so fast. I mean, it took us, centuries at least to adapt to the agricultural revolution. It took us maybe a century to adapt to the industrial revolution. We may have just but a few years, and then we're running out as we speak, to adapt to the AI revolution. And I'm not sure that we are, certainly not in curbing the curses. And as a leader of a country that is an AI player and could be a big player if we have our way, and I think we will, then we want to increase the blessings for not only for ourselves, but for all of humanity. We've done that with other technological innovations that came out of Israel, but and many other places. But the real question is, what do we do? What do we do internationally? What do we do globally to contain the threat? So if you were, well, you can't be president of the U.S. Last time I checked, right? But assume you are.
Not officially.
Not officially. Okay, so you're the unofficial president. What do you suggest we do to curb the curses and increase the blessings?
Well, that's what part of this.
You heard it. Do with that information what you will. Do with that information what you will.